Let's go. Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Reading Room. We are so excited to be here. My name is Megan Donovet, and I'm here with the ladies on the panel. Say hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Let's do a quick intro before we jump right into today's read of the latest in pop culture and television news. I'll start with below. Let's toss it to Elle below me. How goes
Hi,
it, Elle?
hi everyone. It's Elle. I am ready to engage and get started today. So let's talk. I'll pass it over to Candy Kane.
Hey, 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 it's Candy Kane, your girl Candace, your favorite South Georgia peach. And again, always ready to talk about the housewives. Let's go.
I am your girl, Georgia Me, straight from the ATL West Side. I'm excited to talk to my girls again about all things reality and more.
Yes, and I'm so thankful that the ladies are here. We are here to share our articulate opinions. These are no way thoughts that are married to the Bravo network or any of the networks we're going to discuss. These are our own opinions, and you can find our handles in the description box below. Tussle it out in the comments. So let's just kick it off from last week, which was our debut episode. Yay, we did that. We had a lot of engagement. This was Elle's brainchild to start right in on the hot topic that is Shamia versus Porsha. We did that. And I turned off the comments because I not turned off the comments, but my notifications, right? Because I typically was having the channel so tiny, I didn't really think anybody was going to say anything. And the girls started tussling. So, any thoughts on the comments that we had from last week, ladies? Oh, come on.
I think it's very
Oh,
clear. We're still divided. I think we were divided. I think the comments are divided. It seems like people are a little bit leaning towards Portia, which, that was my side last week as well. But again, we enjoyed all of the comments. We love it. Please continue to comment and let us know how you feel.
I'm gonna say I enjoyed the comments. I'm gonna say I appreciate the comments, and I didn't mind even those people who were aiming for me, had a disdain for me. It's cool. This is what we're here for. We're just here to express our opinions, and I don't hate Portia. Okay.
Yeah, I always enjoy the engagement. My opinion didn't change. I really don't care what people say in the comments, to be honest with you. But I appreciate the engagement. And again, these are just opinions.
Yes, they are opinions, but they're pretty informed opinions. I loved it. And I love that we kept it spicy. So let's just jump right in to continue with our favorite topic, which is the housewives. Everybody's watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, picking up from the Porsha versus Shamia continuation, the theme of this season. We find the ladies in Scotland. We're going to skip the recap, but Shamia decides to infiltrate the continuation of the party. Shamia, we last left off, she was crying in the back of the car. This week, she's trying to woman up. She and Kelly are in there rallying up, and they said they're not going to let this deter them. They're going to keep going to the party, and that's how we open up this episode. And it still is a little bit of Porsha versus Shamia. What are your thoughts on this week?
This is. I just have to say this.
Say it.
It's a club. So that whole I got to get out of here, I can't be here, I'm gonna do really? You didn't have to say nothing to her. They playing songs. Um very I didn't like that. And how they all left, like I understood the severity of how they felt in that her talking about Portia's mother. But I'm like, how are you all this upset over her saying this? I understand what she said wasn't necessary. Oh my God, my phone is blowing up, y'all. Um, it wasn't necessary, but she is a member of the cast. She is y'all, she is a member of the cast. So what them doing that to her didn't make sense to me. I understand Portia leaving, go ahead, you got to leave. But for the rest of them to be like, no, you didn't, especially Drew and Angela got something with Shamia. I don't know what that is, but every time they can find a way to shoot her, kick her, bring her down, they doing it. And I understand Shamia is not the most likable person. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't like that. And Shout out to OG Cynthia for still standing there listening to the song, even though they thought she was gone before that. She did stick around and listen to Shamia's song. So I didn't like that whole display at the beginning. What y'all thought? Y'all thought it was cool?
I thought it was very childish, right? I thought it was
Exactly.
childish for a Porsche to leave, to be honest with you. Like, really? I mean, she's singing her song. Everybody got an opportunity who has some sort of musical ambition to get on the mic and sing. It was great hearing Michelle, excuse me. It was great hearing Drew
Drew.
giving Shamia her chance, and it was so immature for them to leave. So I thought it was childish, immature. We're too grown for that. We're on a grown woman show. I'm team grown woman like y'all were last week, and I'm just tired of the childish, antics that they're kicking up um, lately.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think that I don't think even Portia needed to leave. I guess I understand it. There's a level of too soon, sister. We were just, at each other's throats at a table. So yeah, I'm going to dismiss myself. But oftentimes we see the club, the party, after there's some shots, even with whatever's going on amongst the group, that is where the ladies always come together. It had a true ATL vibe. They were vibing in that club. I absolutely enjoyed how K. I don't know if K. Michelle orchestrated, but she seemed to be leading,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring all of the ladies' music was being played. I actually loved it. So I did
Mm-hmm.
hate to see, okay, Shamia's walking in, and now Portia has to make this exit. Portia, you've been paying her dust for most of the season anyway. She's not getting under your skin. She did her big one that night. Girl, continue to pay her dust. You get on the mic and do your thing. I just didn't. And then again, with the other ladies leaving too, it was a bit much. I wanted it to continue to be a fun night. We're kicking off the birthday for Phaedra. Everybody was beautiful. I hated to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll close by sharing. I love this scene, this episode, honestly. Y'all know how I want to be. We're gonna keep it really real. This was one of the most boring episodes of the season, and they've had a lot of boring ones. This was one of the most. Outside of the opening with them at the club, it was a snooze fest. So I actually really appreciated the rally because Shamia and Kelly looked so ridiculous. Like even the wardrobe for everybody at the club was just over the top. But when Kelly and Shamia came in late, which is clearly like Shamia's theme now, coming in late, surprise, and then coming in late and being extra with the fur and play my song. I thought it was such a kiki. I really enjoyed it. I like just like the ladies were sharing. I will say the same. I like that they were passing the mic and sharing the different songs. I was tickled though when Portia threw her hissy fit. That was literally somebody. Was it K Michelle that was like, "All right, Portia, it's time for your song." First of all, I forgot Portia had a song. So
She
that was
did.
like what, five cast members with songs? My God, today. That's a lot of songs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of songs, okay?
Portia did it first.
Was it what Portia? I mean, I'm being funny, but not. What song is Portia's?
It was Flatline, right? Flatline?
Yes, yes.
Flatline?
There you go, Ariel.
The
You
fact
better.
that L knows this. Come on, L. I did
Yes,
not know. Points for
yes.
L.
Video and all, Megan. Go check it out. I remember
Flatline.
when
All
she.
right. I didn't
Yeah.
know Delusional. I thought that
Mm.
Pinky was just making up a song last week or 2 weeks ago.
You know, Drew's album was actually really good. If anybody heard it, it was good. I was surprisingly good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I heard that after the fact when I got so tickled. I was like, "Oh, Pinky wasn't making that up. That's like a real song." All right.
Yes.
I need to go check out the
That's
Housewives
why I
body
thought it was
for.
so funny.
Oh my gosh. I just find Pinky funny. I was so late. But I loved that. But I was tickled that they were like, "Okay, now it's time for Portia's song." And Portia had already exited the building, honey. Portia was gone. So she didn't even get a chance to promote Flatline, you know? Scotland that might have been a hit in Scotland now. You need the spins. We all need the spins.
So one thing that I noticed that kind of irritated me was, and we talked about this last week, was all the apologizing that Shamia went back and did this episode. It drove me crazy. I really, really want Shamia to work on the people pleasing because one minute she's trying to stand on business, the next minute she's apologizing. Hey, ladies, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, but blah 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 blah. And that wishy-washy behavior, I think, is also very frustrating, right, to the ladies as well, on the show. So I don't know what you guys thought about it, but it drove me absolutely crazy this episode to see her go back and forth apologizing.
I agree.
Absolutely agree. I think a lot of our commenters last week said the same thing. Shamia, stand 10 toes down. However you feel, girl, do it. We also saw Kelly this episode in her confessional, like, hey, girl, stop apologizing.
Yes.
Stand up in it if you're going to be a villain, or even if you're going to be apologetic. Like, I guess you could be apologetic, but even in that, it's like, well, I apologize. The timing was wrong. And girl, stop it. Just stop, period.
And if you're gonna apologize, ain't no time it was wrong. It was wrong. I understand you was frustrated, but to bring that out when
Right.
you all had already resolved it and said, you said at the reunion, I'm not gonna say anything. And that was after Porsha said something. At the reunion, she said, your mama stole the daycare, blah, blah, blah. You didn't say nothing then. You should have never said nothing because it only made you look bad. It only made you look like you're the bully, that you're unreasonable. Not that her mother was a vamp, which her mother may have been or may not have been. But the stories, and then no disrespect to all the Porsha lovers, but we know Porsha's a lawyer. And she had said out her mouth, you came for me. So I said something that was lie. She's admitted that she'll do that.
Yeah.
So to say your mama screwed your brothers, girl, I mean your daddy's brother, come on. Like, okay, what she said that, I think that counsel, my mama tried to sleep with your daddy. You feel me? Both of them wrong. So why is Shamia the wrong one? Why is Shamia the wrongest one? Now she lame. She passive aggressive. She do a lot of stuff. She try too hard, but there's no deeper or worse thing she did to you. And I got a question for y'all. Please, somebody tell me, what did Shamia ever do to Porsha before this? What has she ever done, disappointed, let down, not been there for Porsha? Tell me one time, Shawty.
So we're jumping through because I want to do a deep dive. Thanks, Elle, for the suggestion. I want to do a deep dive on the Porsha and Shamia relationship and put the plight of the hot girl lens there. But coming back, I had to do some research and listen to another few bloggers. Do y'all remember during Bolo Gate, right? And it might have, no, before Bolo Gate, when Shamia was around, when the rumor came up between Phaedra and the dungeon and Candy and da 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 da. Shamia was one of the people on camera that was trying to tell Porsha, you may want to apologize because you're wrong. And Porsha told her, you need to be quiet. I want to talk to my real sister. Like she kind of shut Shamia up, kind of hushed her up on camera. I never thought about it, but that was like one of the number one infractions. And the two of them have just been stockpiling resentments ever since. Because Porsha is that friend that is always going to expect blind loyalty, and Shamia would typically give it to a fault. But I feel like that was the beginning of the dissension because Shamia could clearly see that you're not about to, like, I felt like there's two things happened there that we didn't even pick up in the audience because we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, maybe. But these are something for consideration. We'll never know. This is speculation. Shamia had already befriended Candy, remember? They were already BFFs. Like for real, not surface. Whereas she and Porsha were more so surface BFF. They were friends. I know I'm not communicating. Their friendship was based on familiarity and time as opposed to actual like quantity of friendship. She really enjoys Candy's company. They genuinely show up for one another. So when the violation occurred between her friend that is Porsha relationship, we know each other for a long time, but we may not be as aligned character as we used to be. Whereas you're violating my friend, my newish friend, Candy, even though Porsha introduced them, help foster the relationship because they met on Real Housewives. Like there's a lot of things at play to make the resentment start to like the friction start to occur. The lie comes up. Porsha's name is in the middle of the lie. Porsha could have had 3 different times on camera where she could have absolved herself from the whole lie. Instead, she kept wrapping herself in it. And on camera, Shamia is one that challenges her and is like, you should apologize. You might want to distance yourself from Phaedra, and you just may want to, apologize to Candy. And Porsha shut her up. And I feel like ever since then, Portia's kind of been like, you're overstepping your bounds here on my show. That's what I feel. And then from there, we could just keep going. We could just keep going. They didn't show up for each other for each other's weddings. That whole I'm not showing up for you at my
No,
wedding.
Shamia showed up at Portia's wedding.
Oh, excuse me.
She was
Portia
there.
didn't show up at her.
Shamia didn't come. Like I said, tell me one time when Shamia done let down, disappointed, fucked over Porsha. Just give me one.
That was the
Did
one
she
for
ever?
me.
She didn't go. They real close. She didn't do none of that. When Candian was talking, she didn't say a motherfucking word. But Porsha, come on
Yeah,
now.
Portia has proven examples of being a horrible friend to Shamia, but I'm just sharing. I feel like that is where I feel like Portia kind of was like, "We're done here. You're not on my team, and so I'm going to make sure that it's uncomfortable for you over here. It's going to be
But
uncomfortable for you."
I want to add, I do believe there was some coming back together, fake or not, when Portia got with Simon, because they were extra tight with
There
their
were.
African husbands. And I can recall, this was not on the show, but on social media, we saw them all over Vegas, picking out rings and shopping in Louis Vuitton. So, again, and the cameras were not rolling. So to me, again, fake or not, there was some coming together of, girl, we both got African husbands and we about to do it real big. Even with this whole thing with you was with this woman's husband, Shamia was right there and they were cutting it up.
Until they weren't,
They were real freaking frack then. Well, but soon
and that was
afterwards,
Yeah,
short-lived as
and I'm
well.
yeah. And I'm gonna also co-sign, Candace on this one, right? Because the last season, the beginning of last season, again, they were freaking frat. Shamia, the reason why Shamia has beef with Drew and with Angela is because of Porsha. Because remember, she was team Porsha. She was running around bullying Drew, inviting Ralph to, where did they go to dinner or something?
oh, that
And
was
then,
real shady. Bit.
yeah,
Good point,
yeah,
L.
she was throwing Drew under the bus, saying, "Oh, the stuff
She
with the little
said she gonna
girl."
pay for your old child's
Correct,
education.
correct. Child's education, and then on top of that, again, this is when she first got called out for being Portia's lapdog with Angela. So she was doing all of Portia's dirty work last season. They were freaking frat. Porsha was even photo bombing her when she was remember when she got her car? Here's Porsha all in the doggone
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to interrupt you there because
photo.
that's not accurate, totally accurate. Let's go back and roll the beautiful bean footage. This is where I wish I was better at my editing skills. I'd pull up real bean footage from the very first episode. Remember when you all said they were freaking frack? They were freaking frack during that. They came back together. Let's give us that. Let's give them that. The African dating it looks good on the gram. We're traveling all over the world. We got we got our ones. The marriage itself didn't last but no 6 months. Let's just start there. When it started decaying, and it did, the two of them had to isolate from each other because Porsha was spiraling and Simon was spiraling all out in the media. Everything was good until it wasn't. Simon and Shamia distanced themselves, as rightfully so, because it was a mess over here. Pay attention. That same time, Bravo asked, "Do you want to pick up the cameras?" They both said yes. This is where it gets friction all over again. When the cameras are rolling this time, Simon is threatening, "You cannot film here." So we see Shamia coming. Okay, first we see Porsha debuting as not her number one peach holding self. She's coming like from a bottom place. And who comes in as number one? Who did they try to make the anchor? They tried to make Shamia the anchor. Shamia came in. I know everyone in Atlanta. I'm friends with everyone. My man, my house, my jewels, my everything. Meanwhile, we got Porsche over here filming in front of Crystal Burger because she could not film in front of her home. That is creating more friction behind the scenes from an already strained relationship. Keep going throughout that scene. Shamia had already run her mouth. She was talking out of both sides of her mouth, messing herself up in the people pleasing already. In one side of her mouth, I'm going to do Portia's dirty work. And the other side, you're going to pull Angela's side and talk about, I feel like this is a one-sided friendship. I don't feel like she's even really there for me. I feel like, she doesn't hear me. We've been friends for that's how the whole thing got started. And then Angela ran back and told Porsha, and then the two of them have never been the same on camera ever since. But it was all a build up. Porsha never wanted her in the sandbox. That's what I'm trying to communicate. And had Shamia been the housewife that we want her to be and stood on business when she first came in, we never would have seen this whole people begging, Angela would have ran back and told whatever Shamia said, and Shamia would be like, yeah, I said it. I said it. I felt that way, but there's a new sheriff in town and it's me. And you can come over to my house and you can record anytime. That's not what happened. It's not what happened.
Shamea was never gonna be that girl. You could have these high hopes of Shamea. She was never gonna be the anchor. She was never gonna hold it down. I'm sorry. Just wasn't.
That may be true, but that doesn't negate from what production had tried to do, especially because we didn't know if Porsha was going to even be able to come back. Porsha came back the last minute. Porsha gave up her salary to go be Simon Gobadia's housewife. That did not last more than 2 minutes. That was like the stupidest decision. So the
Portia is
second
a
she came
vet.
back, they were like, "Okay, girl, you can come on. We can all have you. Of course, you can come back on the show." And then it came back with constituents, what's the word, y'all? Limitations. You can't film here. You can't film here. You can't do this. Yeah.
I think going back though to George's point, I honestly don't think that Shamia did anything to Porsha. I mean, I honestly feel like Porsha played everyone on the show. She played Shamia several times years ago. Shamia did not even respond. I saw a few clips of her responding at, I think, the reunion, and it wasn't against Porsha. You know, when she responded to the accusations with her and Candy, she just was like, "Oh no," and it kind of hurt my feelings that Porsha put it out there. That's all she said. She
She
never,
blamed
ever. Yeah, she blamed what Phaedra, right? She
Phaedra.
tried to
She
blame
blamed
Phaedra.
Phaedra.
She
Uh-huh.
didn't blame Porsha. And then I think there was commentary with her and Sheree. Again, she never threw Porsha under the bus, not once on the show. This was literally the other week was the first time that we really saw Shamia like put Porsha out there on the show. Because I don't really even count her going back and forth with Angela because they set her up on that, like they basically said, "Hey, Shamia, how did you feel about XYZ? Do you feel like this?" And I mean, I think anybody in that situation would have said, "Well, yeah, I do feel this way." The girl didn't come to my wedding. And then the next season, she's all the way in Hong Kong or wherever she went, Thailand, wherever it was next, right? So yeah, I mean, Portia's been playing her on camera. She played her sister on camera. She plays everybody on camera. Come on.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Point of clarification. At the reunion, because is it at the reunion that the mother's comment comes out and this whole thing about, well, your mother purchased my mother's daycare? Did that come out at the reunion
The
last
reunion.
season?
But
Okay.
Porsha posted in her stories her mother did something so egregious. And that's
Right.
why Andy asked at the reunion, what was this egregious thing?
Okay.
Right.
So
Your,
okay, cool. So they talk about it. Porsha brings it up. They talk about it at the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they have both agreed to when mothers are off limit, we're gonna dead this thing. Right? Is that what happened?
uh-huh.
Okay, so how do we? Because I've heard Shamia say she just kept talking about my mama. She just kept bringing up my mom. She kept bringing up my mom, and so I've got to say something. Whether on the show or social media, has Portia continued to bring up Shamia's mother post the reunion in this season and to the table from last week?
No,
Where?
Shamia
I
Health
don't
is
believe.
holding on to the offense. That's her nature.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
didn't
so she
address it
didn't
in the
dead it at the
moment.
reunion.
She
No,
what?
She didn't squash it at the reunion.
no,
What she
she's
said at
hanging
the
on to it.
reunion was, she said, we're not going to do the mothers because something happened before that. We're not going to do it. I'm not going to talk about it. But that goes deep. She said that. It goes deep. I don't recall Shamia saying she keep talking about my mama. She never did that. What she said was, why did you bring up my mother? Because she had never asked her that question. Why, when we agreed, that we're not going to talk about parents or family members. Why did you bring up my mother? And then Porsha dismissed it as, I don't care what happened between our mothers. That doesn't. She said, well, why did you bring it up? She never answered the question. She never answered the question.
I think Shamia sees it differently. I think again, Shamia does say you kept bringing up my mom. She keeps talking about my mom when they're at the dinner table. Shamia says it that way from last week.
Okay, I'll look again.
Yeah, check it out. And I could be wrong too, but I'm pretty sure that's what. So again, and we know editing. I'm surprised that the producers don't cut and show. They don't show anything when she's saying this. So it's like, well, Shamia, she hasn't kept talking about your mom. If you were holding on to it from last season, that's one thing. Okay, girl. But you were not provoked this season on this topic of your mother again. You had that one loaded. You still wanted to get it off, and you did that. Stand up in that. But I don't think that Porsha provoked her this season on that topic. I don't think.
And you know what, to that point, Candace, it may actually be like some sort of editing thing, right? Because it's something we're missing here. I agree with what you're saying. It's something we're missing, excuse me, here. And yeah, for her to say that, right? And maybe we didn't, maybe it fell on the editing floor and we didn't
Sure,
catch it.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, my phone is overheating because my phone keeps blowing up because I told y'all what happened earlier. So my phone just keeps blowing up. I'm gonna have to leave the discussion, but I want you all to continue because my phone's gonna shut down. So I I I I I will talk to you all later. Please continue the discussion. I'm not a Porsha hater. Again, to the little shouty in the comments, and Shamia, I just don't think Housewives is a fit for you. I don't think that. I just really don't think she is meant to be a housewife, even though they've been asking her for years. I don't think that with the way she processes things, brings things back, handles things, addresses things, it's just not conducive for her betterment and for her mental betterment. I don't want this girl to go crazy dealing with this mess. So I just wanted to say that because my phone just keeps saying it's gonna overheat. Da, 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 da. So I love you guys and continue the conversation. And maybe we'll have a little sidebar, me and you, Megan, about the Valley and OC. Is that cool?
That'll work. I look forward to
I
talking
love
to
you
you.
guys.
Love
Continue
you.
to talk.
Peaches.
Peace, Bravo. Peace,
Bye.
reading room.
Thanks, Georgia.
Thank you. I love y'all.
Yes, love you.
Me too.
Well, to wrap up this pretty boring episode, I was going to ask you ladies what your predictions are as we wrap this back and forth between Porsha and Shamia and lead into the final
I have
episode
one more.
and reunion.
Sorry, I
Come
have
on.
one more.
Yeah.
I had one more, that came up, and it kind of bewildered me. So Porsha mentioned destiny swapping.
Oh, goodness.
Was this a bird moment for her?
I
Because
honestly don't know
what is
enough
she
about
talking
destiny swapping to know if she was even utilizing that properly. It sounds good. I
about?
think some people like to take things that they hear being tossed around and throw them in arguments to make them sound more intelligent. Because who is destiny swapping with who, Porsha?
Exactly.
You know? Are you trying to insinuate that Shamia wants your life? Is that what she's trying to insinuate?
I took it as such. That's what she was trying to say. And then what I also
Girl.
found really interesting too was the conversation that she had with her sister. Um, yeah.
Well, speak on it. Tell the people, girl.
I just find her the way, and again, we all process things differently, right? But one thing about Portia's perspective on things, I just find her perspective to be very linear focus on herself. And, she's clearly, as a lot of people have alluded to, including Kenya, who I don't really care for, but Kenya's tell the truth on this one. It's the Porsha show, right? And it just continues. And I know people here are going to call me a Porsha hater. Again, I want to remind y'all, I liked Porsha a whole lot before she started throwing boom mics at her daughter's grandmother. Okay, but every time that I see her on this show, it gets worse and worse and worse, and I see a lot of the feedback that she's been given throughout the years in regards to her character. So that conversation, I was like, whoa. The use of the term destiny swapping, I think was ridiculous. So yeah, yeah, Porsha, God bless her.
Candace, what do you think?
I wasn't sure. It went over my head. I'm not versed enough to speak on it, so I don't know. She felt passionate about it. She and her sister. So, you know, sure, go ahead. I don't know. Um, I want to say Portia looked good in her all white at Phaedra's dinner where she presented Lady Portia with the
Oh, yeah,
proclamation.
yeah,
Lady
for
of the Glen. What is
yeah,
the Lady
Lady
of the Glen?
yeah,
All right.
very fun.
We don't know.
Hilarious, but Portia was looking very beautiful. That's
Portia
all the
did
ladies.
look nice.
It,
Those outfits
She's
at the
always
end were
beautiful.
very interesting.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if like the stylists didn't all get the memo on a collective theme or what,
Yeah,
but
it
it was
wasn't
very
consistent.
interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent across.
I thought the directive what that it was that they were all supposed to wear black so that their plaid,
Yeah,
shawl would complement it. Pinky was the only one that kind of did that because the other ladies came with
I think Angela
sparkles and
didn't Angela do it too? I
Pinky
think.
and Angela, I think were the only two. Everyone else totally missed the mark, in my
yeah.
opinion.
And you
Yeah.
were going to have the contrast with the white from the host of the trip. But yeah, it just in the end it looked a hot mess.
And yet she had on latex and no plaid or kilt anywhere. Bless her heart. And then Phaedra came down looking like a Vegas showgirl with the blonde. It was a choice.
It was
Everybody
her
was making a choice.
birthday.
It was her birthday. I
So
liked Phaedra's club outfit and Bobbiana look much better. I liked that. I thought that was cute.
so then what was the point of them going shopping? So when they went
Ciao.
to the plaid place to get the
Ciao.
Yeah,
what was
again,
the purpose?
it just maybe the editing. It didn't work out. I don't think
You
people
know what else
followed
didn't
where the
work out was that spa trip. Portia's let's go to the spa. Oh my gosh, I was mortified. I was like, are we watching Potomac? Is this what's her buns? What was her name? The one that did the epic horrible trip? Miss I'm so rich and fabulous. And then sent them to the house that was like 18 miles away from, from any type of anything.
Yeah, that was
What was her
hilarious.
name? Oh my God.
Angel,
Angel.
Angel. Okay.
Angel. Angel.
I was tickled. I was like, this is one of those angel type excursions. Angel had them messed up with the accommodations, honey. Portia
Yeah.
had them out in a community sauna, like hot tub, with no covering on it.
Yeah.
It was the spa for the house.
No, it was not.
And then look, the other thing that I thought was hilarious by Mother Kiki was when they were headed to the graveyard. And so Phaedra said, "Oh, all these famous people are buried here." And so so someone asked her, "Who's buried here?" And Phaedra's like, "Oh,
Cricket.
child, whatever." She just straight up lied.
Not one name. Had not done enough research to have one name. She didn't know.
Because Phaedra is a
That's funny.
pathological liar. I love this. And catch this gag from the other thing I read online. Phaedra's only been to Scotland for the traders. So how many times have you been to check out these graveyards, ma'am?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she
Right.
means on all of her travels. She
Yeah.
goes
Okay.
all the
Yeah.
cemeteries.
All of our travels.
I would
Yeah.
But
have done a Google.
I forgot about the fact that I'd actually gone to Edinburgh as well. And until they made the comment about Harry Potter, and it clicked in my head because actually one of the key things that you do, in Edinburgh is go to, I think there's like a restaurant or a house or something that you go to that was one of the inspirations for Harry Potter. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, she could have even made up a Harry Potter character.
Yeah, she could have made up a lot of things.
She could have made up anything, but yeah. I
My
thought that was
final note, though, they are not selling the Scotland trip. Like they're not making it. Sometimes the housewives will visit a country or they'll do a trip and you'll be like, oh, I need to add that to my list.
yeah,
This isn't it. This isn't it.
yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do like a Scotch tour because I remember doing a Scotch tour when I was there. So like trying the different types of Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they should have done that. These girls like to drink.
Girl, I think anything would have been more exciting than whatever they picked. But
Yeah.
okay, well, before we wrap and move on to another topic, what are your predictions for the next two episodes and even the reunion? We can already start to forecast some predictions for reunion since we're wrapping up this season. Candy Cane, I'll start with you.
Um, I really don't know. I mean, I guess we'll talk about this whole Portia and Shamia thing again at the reunion. They clearly aren't coming back in the last two episodes. There also seems to be some kind of breakdown between Shamia and K. Michelle, who have
Yeah.
been, saying a couple of things in the social media world right now. So maybe some of that is a part of the next two episodes. Um, if you watch What Happens Live, I think Phaedra brought it up, but Shamia confirmed this week that, she had the most tears during the reunion. So I don't know if those gonna be happy tears, sad tears. She does say that she has her receipt, so maybe there's some vindication in what she's bringing to the reunion. So I'll be interested to see. I guess I'll assume, and maybe we've seen this. Do Portia and Shamia have first chair? Is that what we'll be looking at?
So, ladies, before I get Elle's thoughts too, I've pulled up the reunion chart so I could see.
Okay, Michelle.
Yep. So first chair are Portia and K. Michelle.
Yeah.
And then we've got Angela and Kelly. Opposite side, followed by Drew and Shamia. Interesting choice. I would have put Shamia up a lot closer, but okay. And then Phaedra and Pinky round out the end. Yeah. So what are your predictions for the next few episodes leading up to the reunion, Elle?
I have no idea. I'm hoping that Kay Michelle turns up and maybe that's why she's first chair. I partially think she's first chair because everyone had all of these comments and questions and stuff for Kay Michelle um, from earlier in the season. So I think that's potentially why. But yeah, we'll see if she turns up. I'd love to ask this question. Is Kelly still living in Shamia's house? Right. I hope
Mm,
somebody asks that question on the
that is a great question.
on the reunion. And then I just can't wait for the reunion. So I cannot wait to really get the full picture because I think to your point, Candy Cane, we're missing something between Portia and Shamia too. Yeah, I think so.
I think it's that festering. I really do, y'all. I think it goes all the way back, and they've never been right ever since she went across. She crossed her on television. They weren't right during Bolo. They just haven't been right. They haven't been right. And we've all had those girlfriend friendships that are like something doesn't feel right, but you don't have the whatever to say it or to properly cut it off in a respectful manner. I think that's Shamia's problem. That thing should have been cut off a long time ago. But familiarity and placement. They look cute together. I'm sure it's a vibe and a bop to bop around Atlanta together until it's not. Until it's not. That's my prediction. I think that the tea will come out during the reunion. Um, I also, my lasting point, and then we'll move on. I wish that we had filmed this reunion a little bit sooner or more had come to light because I want to know about Kelly's finances, like the recent development that Elle shared last week about Kelly allegedly having her assets maybe frozen or the checking account maybe frozen. I want to know what's going on with Kelly. Like, really, I'm rooting for her. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know what's going on. Like I said, I want to know if she's at Shamia's house.
ugh, maybe she's with Jarvis. Hmm.
And maybe Jarvis moved her in.
Yeah. I think the panel, though, can all agree we don't think that Shamia and Porsha are going to reconcile, though, before the reunion. We think it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a
Well,
wrap on the
survey
show.
said.
It is a wrap in real life. It is over.
Mhm.
The door is closed.
Well, you heard it here on the reading room.
Yeah. I honestly think next season, Shamia is probably going to really have to lean in on her friendship with Kelly.
Absolutely. Well, so moving on in some other news, we'll stay in the Bravo universe. I wanted to quickly ask if you ladies are watching the following shows, and if not, put them on your radar. So, the Real Housewives of Orange County are back. I'm seated for this. They are the OGs of the Bravo universe, excuse me, of the Bravo franchise, the Housewives franchise. They are the OG, and this time Vicky Gunvalson is back. Are you ladies watching?
I'm not, but I'll tune in.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to
And
binge OC, so that's one
okay.
I wait to binge.
Are you all watching Next Gen NYC with Riley, our good girl Riley Beerus on there? Candy's daughter.
I watched the first episode. I'm not caught up, but I will watch it. Yes.
I'm putting that one on the radar for the reading room too, only because we've got to support our good sis, our niece Riley. And I'm curious to know your thoughts. Riley's not having the best second season. You know how that happens on reality TV. And I'd love to know your thoughts there. I think George is watching, so add that to the list.
Yes.
Let's think. Bravo Universe also just debuted on Peacock today was the Real Housewives of London. Anyone watching that this season? Okay. All right. Guess I'll be doing some asides on these, no problem. I keep trying to tell them, y'all, we're not going to make it to BravoCon if they don't get committed. Okay. We just wrapped In the City. Nobody watched that one?
Nope.
We're in the middle of the reunion in the city. And I think lastly is just Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's it. We're watching that one. We're all seated.
Are you guys watching Married at First Sight?
No, I've heard that that's what the girls are watching.
A lot of the girls are watching that, so maybe we should tune in.
Okay. Did you all finish the 5-star weekend on Peacock?
I did. I
Okay.
did.
So I'll be releasing my review on my solo review on the channel. Stay tuned. I loved it, but it's definitely not the Hallmark movie that you think it is. It definitely has a lot of teeth in the background. So get into that, Elle, so we can get your
Yeah, it's
thoughts.
good. It was good.
Really good. Oh, Candy Cane, you were telling us that the Real Housewives of New York are returning. You saw the trailer.
Saw the trailer. Roni is back, and a lot of cast changes. I'll say it's almost like half new people, half of the old girls. One old school return from I think it's Carolyn. She's back, but Jessel's coming back from as part of the kind of revamp. Sai is back, and is it Aaron? What's her
It's
name?
definitely Aaron. Aaron is the
Yeah,
one that just had the baby last year.
just had a baby. Um, so yeah, it looks explosive. I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to watch them because they're my least favorite. And this is our safe space, ladies. Real Housewives of New York, the OGs, they're one of my favorite Bravo franchises, like of all time. So I've never been a fan of them revamping and revamping and revamping. And when they did Ebony K. Williams dirty, I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch. But I always end up watching. So I'll watch. And this cast, they're having a lot of marital issues. So I'm always seated for those. Those end up being they make for interesting television. Hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss Uba. But looks
Yeah.
like she's starting her marriage, and so she's doing her thing with her new mate. And I know Sai is having some issues with her marriage. I think she and her husband are separated, divorced.
There's, yes, separated on the way to divorce.
Yeah. And we also saw that in the news this week from Salt Lake City, Whitney and her husband.
Wait, rewind. I thought we were talking about Angie K. Salt Lake City. Angie K and her husband are gone.
As well as Whitney.
Whitney's done too?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh no.
Put the
Oh
clip here. Put the
no.
clip somewhere. Yeah.
I will have to find it. What?
Yeah. So I mean it's just sad, but yo, the reality TV marriage curse. I don't know. Is it real or fake?
Living separate lives. It comes right up. Oh Lord. Are the cameras rolling? Are the cameras rolling?
Y'all know Salt Lake City is one of my favorite.
Mine too. They're in my top four for sure. Well, top five. I got a lot. I'm a fan. I love the Housewives. Top five.
if you want to do like all the Bravo shows, so you can
Hmm.
watch them all.
Wow, I'm sorry to learn that, Whitney. I thought you were gonna say Angie K. Mhm. Yikes. On a bike.
Yikes on a bike.
Mm. Well, ladies, final thoughts for this second episode of the Reading Room. We've got some things to watch, things to talk about. We have to talk about The Polygamist too. My review is up on The Polygamist. I think everybody's already finished that one. Elle, are you done?
Mhm.
Yep, everybody's done. So we'll have to bring that one up during our next week's conversation. I'd love to get your thoughts on The Polygamist. And then hopefully you all would have watched some more Bravo shows. Final thoughts for the week, and where can we find you hanging out and ways we could support you? Candy Cane, I'll start with you.
Always, I'm a Instagram girly, so please follow me at Candy Cane.
Yep. And then I'm on Instagram. So mine is L1913, and I also have a YouTube as well too. It's not really a channel that I use that often, but I'll make sure that it's in the bottom so you guys can take a look at that as well too. But I don't have any videos up, so you can still
Sounds
follow.
like she's got to get to creating some video then. We're
Yeah.
excited to support you, Elle. Georgia Me, she's the queen of spoken word. She also has, I know, a gig on top of a gig. She mentioned that she's traveling to Mobile, Alabama, even as early on tonight. So I'll leave her website below. You can follow her on Instagram as well, find out where she'll be performing, and check out her fabulous schedule. And you can find me on Instagram and You Deserve Wellness. We've got a couple of activities for the girls that live in Atlanta. We're hiking with the homies. We've got Matt Pilates. And you, of course, like and subscribe on the channel where I'm always dropping commentary, sharing my frameworks. And I'm currently in the midst of the Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. It's a prayer challenge. I'm the beta test, and then I'm going to share with the universe. We're asking God for some audacious things. So, with that, until next time, I hope it's next week. We've got a lot to talk about. Stay positive, love on yourselves, and we'll see you next time in the reading room. Thank you, ladies.